Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Good. I'm ready tonight. All right. So nobody is greater than God. So tonight, y'all, we're talking about walk it like he talking. Everybody say, walk it like he talking.
Walk it like he talking.
Say it out, say, walk it like he talking.
Walk it like he talking.
And tonight, this series is a 3-part series over the month of March. This series is going to be about what it means to walk through faith and being everything that God has called us to be. One thing I've understood, man, is that people don't reach potential not because they don't want to, but people don't reach potential because they don't have a source that they are holding on to. And remember, we talk about it a lot here. Whatever you put before God, you have to sustain. And so tonight, it's a, you know the song like, walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it. We know that's the song, but when you walk it like you talked it, that means you're not allowing God to lead you in the path that he's called you to. And so at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we walk it how God wants us to walk it. And it's interesting to me, the thing that I love about walking is, y'all remember I preached a message last semester called Walk Not Run? Because a lot of us are trying to run to reach purpose, and God said that I want you to walk. And walking may mean that, you know, some friends got to go. Walking may mean that some people in my life, they may go quicker than I am. But the greatest defeat to destiny is comparison. When you compare yourself to people, because a lot of times we compare ourselves to somebody who's on Instagram who's not really them. And when you meet them, they ain't successful as you think they are. And so that's why sometimes we have to get off Instagram at night and get off Facebook and get in his book. Everybody say amen. Amen. Sometimes we have to make sure that when we are trying to seek purpose, that we don't watch. I'm about to preach tonight. We don't watch about everything God's going to do. I mean, we don't watch about everything that we feel that we need to do and what people are doing. We have to watch what God is trying to induce in our life. Jesus, when Jesus fulfilled every messianic promise in the Bible, y'all know he did. He walked. The Bible never said, and Jesus dipped out to go heal somebody. The Bible never said, and Jesus hurried to do it. Jesus walked. Bro, it was a story in the Bible, and I love it, where the woman with the issue of blood, she was sick for 12 years. That means in today's time, that means that her, she was on a period for 12 long years. 12 years. She was there for 12 years. And so what she heard was Jesus was going to heal somebody's daughter. The Bible talks about how they thought the daughter was dead, and Jesus said, nah, bro, she only asleep. So imagine a dad is the exit sign over there. He's like, Jesus, I want you to heal my daughter. He said, I'm coming. And he started walking. But Jesus had to walk, because if Jesus did not walk, the lady that was coming to him, he would have never met her. And so when Jesus was walking, the Bible says she touched the hem of Jesus' garment. That means, Ricky, that she did not even touch him. That means she just touched a piece of him. And the thing about it was, the Bible says, when she touched a piece of him, it says, and virtue left his body. So imagine you the dad, and you think your daughter dead, then Jesus is headed to heal your daughter, and he stopped. Because he said, you know what? Some touched me. Now, in this time, y'all, it's so Gucci, bro. In this time, so many people was around Jesus, but he felt the touch of this one lady. Y'all listening to me? And the touch of the one lady not was because she got there, but the touch was because of her faith. Everybody say faith. Faith. So if I'm the dad, I'm pissed off at this point. Because Jesus, first of all, she could bleed for another month. My daughter's about to die. But the thing I love about Jesus, man, Jesus don't give you, he don't always give you the plan when he calling you to purpose. He don't always give you what you're seeking for when he calls you to be something great in the earth. Jesus, bro, he already knew that when he got over there, all he was going to say was, bro, she's asleep. But see, a lot of times we see things in the natural eye and not in the spiritual eye. So when Jesus healed the woman, he didn't say, I healed you because you came. He didn't say, I healed you because you were sick for this long. You know what he said? Jesus says, I healed you because of your faith. Everybody say faith. Faith. Now faith, the Bible says in Hebrews 11:1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things that I have not seen. I heard a preacher say this before. He said, if I had a piece of land in Africa, but I was in California, and they sent me the deed to the land, I don't have to see the land to know it's mine. Why? Because I have the deed. when you are trusting in faith and when you're trusting who God has called you to be, you don't have to see the promise to know that God's going to do it. But because God has said a word over your life, I don't have to see it to believe it. Everybody say, I don't have to see it, to believe it.
To believe it.
So as we go into this, man, it's so many points I want to give you. When it comes to walking it like you're talking, man, most people don't win not because of their ability, but because of their lack of faith, their lack of trust in God. Now, I saw this thing. Have y'all seen this? The boxing fight between the guy and the black dude. I forgot their name. Bro, I'm gonna tell you what was fire about this interview. It just literally sent me off. Like, I was watching it. Like, so the black guy was like, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you. These demons inside of me, I'm gonna beat you. And the guy, he was like me. You know, he said, if God be for me, who can be against me? I was like, bro, and the thing is, bro, he was so bold, not in his strength, but he was bold in his confidence because he had a source. I feel this. He had a source fighting for him. And so, as they about to do this thing, man, the thing I love, and I was researching, both of those people, they were winners in their own right. Because a lot of times what God is calling y'all to, man, it ain't gonna be two losers. Both of y'all gonna be good at what you do. But somebody can be good without God. They have to sustain. But when you're good with God, you don't have to sustain yourself because God sustains you. So both these dudes are good. And he says, bro, I don't care how many times you won in a fight, I'm gonna beat you. I was looking like, in society, the dude that talked the most, you would think he gonna win. And a lot of us have a bunch of talk, but we don't have nothing to back up our mouth. Because somebody can come to your face like, bro, like me, I have a bunch of talk. Me and my brother get into it. I said, bro, when I come to Savannah, it's gonna be you and me. Now my brother is like, he is huge, tattooed all the way down, and then he calls his gun a Draco, right? So I guess that's what it's called. So I walk in the house, I'm like, what's up? What's up? He's like, what you gonna do? I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. Because, you know why? He was able to have that ability because he had a source and all I had was my mouth. A lot of people take that and say, you talk too much. You talk too much. And that's why, you talk too much. You talk too much. And that's why a lot of us don't reach purpose because we so busy talking and we ain't put no work into that thing. And y'all take right there. Y'all, I feel good. Can y'all tell I feel good tonight? So, it says, most people don't win not because of their ability, but because of their lack of faith. Everybody say faith. Faith. Listen, faith isn't boasting when you do not have a heavenly source. That's optimism. Everybody say optimism. Optimism. See, some of us, we go out here, bro, I'm about to take over West Georgia. This is my year. I'm going to do it. But you're doing it in your source. That's optimism. And the enemy can come in optimism and get you out. One thing with optimism can take you out the game. So somebody does support your brand. Well, I guess it's not what God has called me to do. Let me tell you this, bro, very boldly and very directly. I don't need nobody to support what I do because God is my source. Your support is appreciated, baby, but it's not needed. You can support me, like my stuff, share my stuff, comment, but bro, it's not needed. Because if you move out of the support of people, and if you move out what people want you to do, if I give you something, if you make me mad, I have the ability to take it away from you. So I stand in my faith. Last week I told y'all about KickBack at KSU. A whole month, they told me we can't do it. I said, listen, bro, I know what God told me when I went to Alabama last semester. I know what God said. I know for sure this is what God said. So I said, bro, listen, we're going to do KickBack at KSU. I was talking with my team members today. They was like, no, I don't think we need to do it. I said, y'all, we're going to do KickBack at KSU. Because I just feel that's what God said. And that's why, too, my team love me and I love them. And that's why, too, you have to stand on what God told you, not what people said about it. So I knew God had called me to KSU. I knew that's what he said, man. So last week, I put a fire out. Guys, it's about to be amazing and kill us all. And then I said, y'all gonna cancel. But that night, when I went to bed, bro, God said, bro, a delay with me is never a denial. Let me tell y'all, bro, God is so powerful. Let me tell you what happened that same night before I came to Bible study here. A girl, I didn't message her. I I said, God, come on, y'all say this, say, God, I'm going to do the possible while you do the impossible. That's what I told God that night, y'all. And I left, I came here, preach, had a good time, left home. DM girl say, she went to KickBack DM. She was cute, so I was looking like, what's up? I was like, hey. So, but she was talking about ministry and stuff. So she was like, hey, I want to help out. And I don't do all that talk. I'm like, bro, whatever, you know, but I don't do all that. Like, I need some game with what you say you're going to do. So I called her. I said, hey, send me your number. She called me. She said, I'm excited about Kennesaw. I'm like, how can you help me? All that excitement don't help me. How can you help me make this happen? This baby tell me, she said, I am in the music department and I can get you a room tonight. I said, no, let's just make sure we go into cancel. This girl, listen, I want y'all to understand the essence of this, man. She was able to book a room. We have a team of 8 people that I met with today that's already over there. And they ready to go. Like, they got a band, they got a worship team. Let me tell you, bro, what God can do. If we would have done Portia Kennesaw last week, I would not have met her in that instance. But God allowed a door to close so he can introduce me. Ooh, I feel it. He can introduce me to my destiny. And some of you look at people leaving doors closed. You failed, you did this, as God punishing you. But here's the thing, bro. Opportunity and obstacle are the same thing depending on who's on your side. And at the end of the day, I know God fight for me. So when an obstacle comes, I say, you know what? I get out of my source and now I work into God's source. I went to Kennesaw a couple weeks ago, didn't meet nobody. When God fights for you, man, he will set up before you. He will make it happen before you. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't give a darn what Bible study over there. We the KickBack at KSU. And we're going to be the best at what we do. I'm telling you, bro, you got to have that confidence about yourself. If you be, listen, my team, my people tell you, I say this almost every day. When somebody I'm like, bro, I'm Quinton Cummings. Why you always say that? Because I know I'm not fighting with me, I'm fighting with God. Come on, say your name. Say, I'm James. One more time, So when the enemy try to come into you, you say, bro, I'm Quinton. The Bible says, no weapon, hear me out, no weapon formed against me shall do what? The Bible never said the weapon ain't gonna form. It just said it ain't gonna prosper. The evidence sometimes that God is with you is when the weapon comes. The evidence sometimes that God wants to fight for you is when the weapon comes. If the weapon never came, I'll be honest with you now. I don't know why I trusted God. When we was doing Kennesaw, I was like, bro, I guess this ain't God. But when I get outside of myself, that's when God can do something crazy in my life. Everybody say faith. So, it was this crazy story. Let me just give you this. I got a bunch of points. Confidence isn't, I want to hope y'all write this down. Confidence isn't spoken in volume of words, but in the validity. I want you to hear me. Confidence isn't spoken in the volume of words, but in the validity of the victory. It's in the validity of the victory. Validity pretty much means the verification of the victory. So confidence ain't spoken based off how loud I am, but confidence is spoken based off the verification of me knowing that it doesn't matter what comes in my life. It doesn't matter what happened in my life. God is going to fight. Remember, I'm teaching y'all about faith, man. This is one of the first things I learned when I got saved. I think if you're a Christian, everybody should learn faith. Faith is the essence of who you are. Let me show y'all something. Everybody stand up real quick. Come on, real quick, stand up. Come on, real quick, stand up. All right, sit down. Sit. What's your name? Kennedy, stand for me one more time. Sit. Kennedy, all y'all got faith. Y'all did not question, oh my God, is how big I am is going to hold me in this seat? Y'all did not question, is the seat going to go down? Everybody have faith. The Bible says you need faith. You need faith of a mustard seed. This is how big a mustard seed is, family. Why are you moving? That little thing ain't gonna do nothing. That's how much faith you need to reach God in your life. You need faith. Faith is the essence of what I do, man. All of y'all, everybody say, I have faith.
I have faith.
Now, listen, I found this crazy story in the Bible. Well, let me get a seed first. Romans 10:10 it says, for it is by believing in your heart that you were made right with God, and it is by openly declaring faith that you were saved. So believe in your heart, confess with thy mouth, believe in thy heart, then one shall be saved. What did that person do to receive the blessing of salvation? It says, believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, then that person shall be saved. Tell me, what did they do to be saved? Because a lot of times, some of us feel like because we live a separate life, or we may not all the way be saved, or we may feel like because we go party that God don't want us, because we had sex last night that God ain't trying to see us, because we smoked last night that God ain't want us. Let me tell you something, man. The Bible don't say if you smoke, you shall be saved. The Bible don't say if you drunk, you shall be saved. The Bible don't say if you turn up last night, you shall be saved. It says if I confess with my mouth and I believe in my heart, then I shall be saved. Don't allow the enemy to keep you trapped in a place of what you think that what you do gets you outside of the love of God. Are you listening to me? I want you to understand, man, like, listen, bro, what I'm learning so heavily and deeply is this. God never calls qualified people. God will allow you to be a whole crackhead. Now, if you want, see me after service. Look. God will call a whole crackhead. I mean, stoned and everything. And he'll say, you know what? That's the person I want to use. Why would you be perfect and God want to use you? Some of us are trying to strive for perfection, and God's saying, bro, just be you. Just be authentically you. And a lot of us in church and religious people in junk, they try to teach y'all, man, about you gotta do this and do this. And y'all know it's over like, I believe it's over 800 something commandments in the Bible. God know we ain't gonna keep that junk, man. That's why he said, I'm gonna send my son. That's why he sent grace. Everybody say grace. Grace is the undeserved, unmerited favor of God. Now, grace don't justify you to sin now. Don't be like, I'm gonna go get something back because I got grace. You will get something while you're trying to get something. Let me tell you right now, I mean, God is a healer. But going to the doctor and say, I got grace, man. You have an STD, man. Yeah. I was going to go deeper. Am I talking good tonight? So listen to me. That's what it would do. You ain't got to be perfect to receive the blessings of God, man. You ain't got to know it all to receive the blessings of God. I'm going to give y'all tonight this foundation because I got so much that I'm going to teach y'all over these 3 weeks. I'm just giving you foundation. So go to my text, man. This is so good. I don't taught y'all. Gil, keep back here. I don't taught y'all this before, but I felt the need to teach again to add to it. All right, y'all ready? Everybody say I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, so this is Luke 5:18-25. It says some men, y'all know I taught this. It says some men carrying a paralyzed man on a sleeping bag. They tried to take him inside to see Jesus, but they couldn't reach him because of the crowd. So they went up to the roof and took off some towels. Then they lowered the sick man on his mat down into the crowd right in front of Jesus. Seeing their what?
Faith.
Jesus said to the man, young man, your sins are forgiven. But the Pharisees and the teachers and religious law said to themselves, who does he think he is? That's blasphemy. Only God can forgive sins. Jesus knew what they were thinking, so he asked them, why do you question this in your heart? Is it easier to say your sins are forgiven or stand up and walk? So I will prove to you that the Son of Man has the authority on earth to forgive sins. Stop right there. Listen, it says, you have what?
Authority.
Listen to me. You do not have to ask God for everything. You have authority. I told y'all last week, you know a prayer that God will never answer? It's a prayer that he's already fulfilled. God heal me. He ain't gonna do that. The Bible says when he died on the cross, he died for healing. He died for our sins. He died for our prosperity. So when I speak to God, I said to them when we came in practice, when I pray to God and I'm sick, I don't say, God, heal me. I say, God, I thank you for the healing that you have already made available for me. So I call the healing into my spirit. You see what I'm saying? So I can thank God for what he did. I kind of like did a thank you in advance for what you're going to do. That's some good stuff right there. It says, then Jesus turned to the paralyzed man and said, stand up, pick up your mat, and go home. And immediately, as everyone watched, the man jumped, picked up his mat, and went home praising God. My sermon title tonight is not guilty. Hold on, that's God. I'm telling you, that's God. Next. Did I put it in here? It's not in here? Everybody say, run the play.
Run the play.
Say it loud, say, run the play.
Run the play.
Adam. You know what the Adam is a football player, y'all. You know what the Adam I learned? I don't know much about football. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what I did on the football team, but I was a part of the team. That's that. Now,
Right.
you don't have to look football player to go to heaven. So, what's up? So, Adam, you know one thing I learned? This is what I do know about football, man. What I always saw about football, Adam, y'all, when you get a touchdown, that's the end zone, right?
Yeah.
You know one thing I learned, Adam? It don't matter, Adam, if I'm on this side or if I'm on this side. If they throw y'all, I feel this, man. If they throw the ball to me and I'm in the end zone, I still got the darn touchdown.
Right.
It don't matter if I'm in the middle. It don't matter if I'm like this. I still got the touchdown. What I am telling you, when you are close, if I say planted, when you are planted by God, you can run the play that God has given you. And it don't matter where you are inside the play. When the ball comes to you, you win the touchdown. And you're listening to me. Go back to the text. I want to give you this at my turn. So listen, this dude, right? Him and his friends, they saying, bro, you need to get healed. Now that's a whole other sermon. I think I'm gonna talk tomorrow about check your circle in Kennesaw. Because some of y'all friends, when they see y'all down there, legs ain't working, they'll be joking about you. But you need friends to say, you know what, listen, I know that you don't want to be safe for yourself, but I'm going to take you to Bible study with me. You need friends to say, you know what, I know you're trying to start your business, and I'm going to be the first person to invest into you. I cannot stand people, bro. You be selling something and they close to you. Well, I hope it works. But, give them I told y'all it did. Listen, I'm in the end zone, though. I can't stand that. Bro, I got this product, man. I break. No, give $1, man. Some of y'all trying to start businesses and your friends need to be the first person to support you. Some of people trying to have so many posses and post people on Instagram. Bro, forget all that junk about post people on Instagram, man. You need people in your life who gonna support what you do. You need people in your life who gonna see what you're trying to do. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain so it can be read on the go. Your friends in your life, your family, your people, they're supposed to support you. And I'm telling you this, and this is going to be heavy. If your people ain't supporting you, you may want to check your own circle. If your people, I will. Write the, it's Habakkuk 2:2. Come on, church, Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision. Come on, everybody say, write the vision.
Write the vision.
Make it plain.
Make it plain.
So it can be read.
So it can be read.
On the go. Give me my book. She reminded me of something. Well, y'all getting something tonight? My book. I'm sorry, I didn't even drop the pen. My book, thank you. Let me tell y'all what I do. This is what I do. So when I want God to do something, what I do is I go write it. So I got all my scriptures in here that I want God to do in my life. So I just start writing my stuff down, because this is practicality. I start writing my stuff down. So then what I did was, I also not write stuff down, I also let God who I want to bless. So I got my brother, I got Chris, Brittany, Casey, Bryson, will see the Spirit on another level. Blessed to be a blessing. Caleb, Carter, Eustache, Levisha, Kaden, they'll be saved. Prominent leaders, testimony, the church gonna grow. I write down what I want God to do. Y'all see? Let me show you something, man, because I love y'all about it. This stuff that I wrote down, last stuff that I want God to do here. I wrote KickBack KSU down last semester, and God is doing it today. I'm telling you, man, there's power in you writing down what you want God to do. I wrote this sermon that I'm preaching now, right now down last week in my notes. Because I know what I want God to do in your life. I know what I want God to make happen in your life. Listen, these dudes, bro, he heard Jesus in the city. They said, bro, we're going to take you to meet Jesus. He can't walk, so they had to pick him up, I'm sure. They get to the house. Like, imagine, like, let's say it's like a lit kickback right here. Y'all been to one of those parties and so many people can't even get into the front door? That's how that is. That's how that was. They got to the door. They're like, bro. And his friends, see, this is why I was going to have friends. Because see, your friends, it's too many people, so we just going to go back home. They said, bro, you know what? We got to find out a way, Tia, that we going to get this man healed. How we going to do this? They context of all of this. They had to get a ladder. They had to pick his paralyzed self up. They drag him up the ladder. So his friends, they did not only want to see his healing, they was invested even if it meant they had to sacrifice. If your friend don't sacrifice for you, it's time to go.
Hey, say that again.
If your friend, I got you. If your friend don't sacrifice for you, it's not like that. But the Bible says that friends are born. I don't know why I'm on friends, but I'm supposed to be talking about something else. Friends are born for adversity. You need people in your life. You don't only, I'm gonna tell you, man, you don't only need people in your life who's up when you up. You need people in your life when you say, bro, listen. Bro, I'm broke and I need you. You don't need people gonna vacate. You need people to say, bro, what must I do to help you? Right. And if all of your friends vacate when you're going through trouble, baby, you need to leave them. Mm-hmm. This dude, man, they had to put him on top of the roof. That's a lot of work all in itself, to put him on top of the roof. They got him on top of the roof. Then the Bible says they lowered him right in front of Jesus, bro. You know what Jesus said? He didn't address the man. He said, because of their faith, I now make you whole. Is that good talk tonight? Yeah. He said, bro, because, not even because you came, boy. He said, because of your faith, because of your friend's faith, I'm going to make you whole. When we talk about walking like he talked it, see, when you walk how you talked it, you choose friends for the party. I feel this. But when you walk how he talked it, I choose friends for the pasture. When I go through stuff, I need to know that you still going to be with me. That's why some of y'all, man, that's why some of us are so want to have so many people in our life to post and snap and help because you don't got to be alone by yourself. You need people in your life who's going to invest into you. This series is about faith. Sometimes my faith ain't strong enough. But I have people around me say, bro, we still going to do KickBack. We still going to keep this going. Faith don't mean I have to see it. Faith means I trust. We try to do KickBack at West. We try to do KickBack at Kennesaw. I'm working at Oasis in Atlanta. We try to build an agency. I don't know how we're going to do that. But God's going to do it. Bro, listen to me. I'm not even at Kennesaw. I haven't stepped foot and met nobody that's going to serve on my team down there tomorrow. But when God is for you, it's like, when God's for you, bro, it's like he sends the red carpet before you and just allow you to walk in it. But my question is, bro, God got to be for you at the level where you are. A lot of us want to have this big, stupid, audacious, ambidextrous faith. You can't even believe God to heal your head. How you going to believe God to start your business? You got to start where you are. God, I'm going to pass this test. Now, faith is wisdom. So if you don't study, you're not going to pass. I don't care how much you pray. Are you listening to me? Everybody say run the play.
Run the play.
So, what time it is? Oh my God. So I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this. Listen. I got 15. My first point is, I want y'all to write this down. I got 8 things for you. I may can't get my answer, but I'm going to try. My first point is, the ability to trust God. You have to have the ability to trust God at His Word. Remember, most people don't win not because they don't want to, or even because they don't know the Word. They do not win because they don't trust and activate the Word in their life. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you, I knew you. I appointed you prophet to the nation. Here's the thing, man. I love that's my favorite scripture. Here's the thing. If people walk out of my life, God already called me. It says, before I formed you, I knew you, I called you, I appointed you. God don't check with your family. God don't check with your friends when he decides to call you. I talk to so many people, and I'm like, bro, you might just do the thing. Well, let me check, see how your mom. Bro, get in it or get lost. Because there's so much inside of you that God want to do. Let me tell you with David, bro. You think David would have reached the promise of becoming the king of Israel if he would have been deterred about his friends felt and his family felt about him? Man, bro, David was outside tending to the sheep, bro, while his brothers and his daddy was inside the house. But the Bible says when the prophet came in to anoint David as king, he didn't even know David was outside. He said, bro, listen, it's the sun, it's another one outside, where he at? Because when you are planted by God, you focus on what God has called you to be, and you being you, God will allow people to send for you. This morning, bro, I went to bed, y'all, I cooked, I made me 2 eggs, I made some sausage links, I made me some, I made grapes, I had some, you saw that, it looked good. Yeah. Chef cute, yeah. So I cooked, I watched me a little sermon this morning. I still was depressed, y'all, but I said, you know what? I'm going to feed my spirit. Just in case, when I wake up, God want to bless me. I'm just going to feed my spirit. Y'all, I woke up. I called my sister, Jordan. I said, Jordan. She was like, what's going on? I said, I am excited about what God's going to do. Because I left the possible and I let God do the impossible. Because my source is no longer into what I believe, but my source into who God is. I got to give y'all these points. Y'all listen to me? My second point is, well, let me give you this. You have to have the equation of trust in God. Here's going to the equation. Y'all ready? Acknowledgement of God, trust in God equals a prepared one way of being. I told y'all that. Point 2, you must trust yourself. Everybody say, I must trust myself. You got to have confidence in you. Some of y'all don't believe in yourself. You let your past dictate your present. You let who you were dictate what you're doing in your life right now. You let your money, you let who left you, you let your relationships, you let how you look, you let what people say about you determine if you're going to be everything God's called you to be. For a long time, I was like that too. I was trying to lose weight, trying to eat muscle. I'm like, bro, you know what? I'm just going to be me. Because it ain't working. You try to cut your hair like somebody, you try to get the lash like somebody, you try to get, when you talk about, and there's nothing wrong with admiring somebody, but don't copy them. It's only one you. Let me tell you something, man. I say this humbly. Nobody can do what I do. Nobody. Nobody can do what you do. I can't do what you do. And the thing about it is, bro, a lot of people want your life, but they don't know your story. A lot of people want your life, but they don't know, like, a lot of people, listen, bro, listen, no cap, no shame. If you're watching this, God bless. I have so many people, y'all, no cap, listen, I'm telling you the truth. I have so many people DM me to ask if they preach at Bible study. I look at it and don't respond. And then I see them, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Don't ask me for a platform. Let God put you on it. Be you in what you do. It's so many people that I would love to preach and speak up here. But I'm going to tell you, man, if your friendships and your relationship can't be tested, they don't need to be in your life. I test my people on my team all the time. I will make you purely pissed and see how you're going to respond. Because your response equals your heart. And that's why I'm telling you, you got to be you. You got to focus on you. Your confidence got to be, here's the thing. My confidence is not in the fact that I'm so great, because without God, I'm really nothing. I'm trash without God. But I know I got God fighting for me. So I know when I walk into a room, they don't see me, they see my anointing. When I walk into a room, they don't see me, they see my light. When you walk into a room, what they see?
My anointing.
Come on, church. I love it. When you walk into a room, do they see everybody you done slept with? Or do they see your prayer life? And if you're doing that, God bless. Just remember I told you, if you're going to do it, make sure they're cute. Don't do it somebody ugly, though. That just don't make sense. With who in your life, or with what you're doing when you walk into a room, what do people see? Do they see a you that you're trying to be? For so long, man, I started preaching when I was 17. So I used to wear suits, which I don't have one suit. Unless somebody, if I go to a funeral, that's when I wear a suit. I used to go to churches and I used to try to put a suit on, try to preach like the preachers, say the right stuff. And who I am today is who I always been. I just let me acclimate. Now, there's nothing wrong with conforming to your environment. So if I go to a church that don't dress how I dress, I'm gonna dress up because I respect. That's wisdom. Everybody say wisdom. But when I'm just being me, man, when you be you, you should not have to down yourself down trying to be like nobody else. I was trying to preach like people. Creflo Dollar, say what you want to say about him being a pastor. I would follow him. Why would you follow a broke pastor? What's on the head is on the house. And that's dead on that. So I like Creflo. Feel how you want to feel. So with Creflo, I love him. So I listen to Dr. Dollar all the time. Honestly, if I had to be straight up with you, no cap, Creflo Dollar was the pastor by TV that taught me about faith. He taught me about faith. I forgot where I was going with that. What I was saying. I forgot. But Creflo taught about faith. That confidence built in me about faith. The confidence built in me about who I am. And so, once I know who I am, I don't focus so much, bro, on what people say. Y'all know who you are. When you walk into a room, listen, you say it's going to be this or it's not. And it's not you being arrogant, it's just you being confident in a source. It's you being confident in who God has called you to be. So you have to ask yourself that question, like, for real, ask yourself, like, when people see me, like, bro, what do they see? Like, literally, what do people see? Not bragging on myself, but bro, I go to a place all the time, people be like, you smell good. Thank you. You can't be funky in Illinois, I'm sorry. They're like, you smell good. Your hairline looks so good. It ain't my exterior. It's my interior. Because I'm anointed. Everybody say I'm anointed. Come on, everybody, I'm anointed. It don't matter if you don't feel like it right now, you're anointed. So when your teacher see you, she may give everybody else a C, but because you're anointed. She say, you know what, come here. And listen, bro, I can't, y'all. I got 6 more points to teach y'all next week, because I'm going to teach it to you. But let me tell you, one of my points was, bro, you got to speak what you don't see. Listen, this is my favorite one. You have not because you ask not. If I'm in class and I know that I need to pass a class, listen, I go in, I do the sandwich effect. Professor such and such, I know that I've been failing, and you're wonderful, and you're great, and you're mighty. I know I failed, but I need a grade. I asked the question. They gave me what I wanted, and God blessed me. I got 6 more whole points I want to teach y'all with this faith thing, man. Because one of the greatest things I've learned is about faith. You have to ask yourself the question today, what do people see? Come on, yeah, ask yourself, what do people see? What people see you like, do they see you as being who you are? Or do they see you as being who God has called you to be? And what people see is not based off what you do, but what people see is based off your level of faith. When I die, bro, I am so sick of hearing, I mean, it's good, you know, David in the Bible, and Jonah, and, you know, all of them, Nicodemus, Mephibosheth, you know, blah, blah. All that's good in the Bible. I love the stories in the Bible. But what if I'm in Aaron's class, and I want to say, what does the book of Aaron say? What if I'm in Tia's class, and I say, what does the book of Tia say? What if I'm in Diamond's class, what does the book of Diamond say? What does people see about your book? Are they going to say, their book is party? And if you party, bro, turn up, have fun, do it for me. But what I'm telling you is, anything that you do too much of and you don't put God in, that becomes your source. Some of y'all are at every party that they got, but when they do a business thing, trying to get you to help you graduate, you don't go there because that's lame. That's where the white coats go. That's what you call them. But I'm telling you this. You got to stop labeling people because of what they do. It's not no white and black thing. People decide to be successful. People decide to do what they want to do. Bro, I can sleep in my room all day and say I got all this stuff, but I know there's a generation in Kennesaw that one day my check gonna come from what I do. I used to get in trouble when I was a kid for talking so much. Now people pay me to talk. I'm telling you, what do people see when they see you? You have to ask yourself that. Y'all can stand, I'm through. What do people see? What do people see? Do they see a person of faith? Or do they see a person that don't believe? Come on, Mark. They see a person that don't believe. Come on. They see a person that don't believe. Because a lot of times what we do is when we feel this ill, and hear me, pay attention. A lot of times what we do, we feel this ill what people have called us. So people have called us Well, that's not true. People don't call us a hoe. People don't call us a hoe. So, okay, sorry, bless you. People call us a hoe, so we check that on our list. People call us a slut, so we put that down there too. So we check that. I'm gonna be real with you. People call you, they say ugly. Yeah, they call you that too. People call you things, and you believe it. So when you wake up in the morning, I'm sorry. And when you get up to brush your teeth and look at yourself, you don't even see you. You don't even see you. You see messy, you see hoe, you see slut, you see extra, you see messy. And what this does is you see all this stuff and you look at it. And now you can't become who God has called you to be because you don't see you at all, fam. You see what they said about you. And so you start believing that I can't become who God has called me to become because I'm wrong. My mom left me, my dad left me, all kinds of stuff. And you associate yourself based off what people feel about you. Question, what do you see in your mirror every morning? Because what you see is what people say. But you know what? When I submit my life to Christ, when I get saved, I need a napkin. When I get saved and submit my life to Christ, and when I become who God has called me to be, and when I submit my life and when I focus on who God has called me to be, what God says, I want somebody to change the world. And let me tell y'all something, I feel this literally by the Spirit of grace. Let me tell you something, man. Men, both guys, like me, let me tell y'all something, bro. All that being hard jump, man, that jump is dead. You gotta be who God has called you. You gonna be hard and broke. You gotta be who God has called you to be. I don't understand. You can't tell a man I love you. I don't understand. I know I ain't gay. So see how you wanna feel. You can't tell a man I'm gonna hug you. That ain't saying you gay. That's being in touch with who God says I love you. He says royal priesthood. He says victory. But you shouldn't walk around here hard for these punk people around here, bro. Be you. You know that you like to watch SpongeBob at night. but you up, no, bro. I'm gonna go play football. Let me tell you something about me, bro. Call me gay, call everyone about. Listen, I'm not cutting no grass. I'm probably not gonna change no oil, but I can pick somebody who can do it. I'm not gonna play no football. I'm not gonna play no basketball. I may not come to your game. That don't mean I'm soft, but I'm gonna teach this word. Because my source is greater than what people fight for me. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm preaching so tough tonight. And this is foundation. I'm preaching so tough because I want y'all to know. And let me say this, because I gotta say this, and I'm so sorry, I'm going over time. Forgive me if you gotta leave, love you, God bless you. Let me tell you something. Some of y'all women, y'all ready? Yes. Some of y'all women, you gotta do God's kind to be, man. Everything you do for other people. You hang around cliques because you want people to know you. I feel this, I'm gonna look this way. Some of y'all want to be in sororities and fraternities because you want to be famous. And you don't want anybody to know you just for who you are. You compare yourself, you be like other people. You got one style when you go to class and this person's famous and you start doing this. And let me say this, man, ladies. You know your mama trained you to date a godly man and a good man. But you gonna go get somebody who's outside your purpose, outside your will, because people know him. And because he's hard. Bro, hard don't write no checks. Anybody can give you some good loving at night. Anybody can hold you at night. But see, when I submit to God, are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Yeah. When I submit to God tonight, when I say I'm gonna submit to God, bro, I don't mind being by myself. It may get lonely sometimes. But guess what? Listen, I'd rather be lonely with God than be in a crowd of other people and try to appease to how they feel. Okay. That's how I'm telling you, man, you gotta come back for the rest of it. Gonna be so good. God, I love it. God says, bro. God says, what's your name, man? You. Who? Dion. Let me tell you what God says, bro. God say, I'm gonna call you with all your stuff. And when I get to God, I say, God, hold on. No. God said, no. Bring it to me. He started erasing. Are this good? He started erasing what people say about you. As I get closer to God, people still gonna talk. And guess what? People still gonna see what I used to do. So when people see me, they say, bro, she used to do this. But look how much God done did in her life. And then I keep walking with God. I continue to walk with God. And what you never want to do, this is what I never do. Purposefully, I did not erase every mark that's on this screen, Jackson. Because bro, when you see me, I want you to know I used to be different. I want you to know what I used to do. I want you to know how I used to hold with you. I used to do all this. I want you to know. Because when you can see my scar, you can see the sovereignty of my King. When you can see when I did this to myself, you can see how God want to move into my life. I'm going to tell you, bro, this is the game that's going to help you be who you called to be this year. And I'm telling y'all something right now, bro. I'm telling you, if you're going to be everything, focus. If you're going to be who God has called you to be this year, you have to follow this plan of having faith in God. Your faith going to fuel your future. Your faith going to fuel. God has called me to be at West SWAT, man. Listen, thank you so much for watching this video. Listen, I need you to do a few things. Like, subscribe, and share it with somebody. And listen, man, we can't wait to see you next time. Remember, we're influencing culture for God and impacting the hearts of people. Until then, we love you.